Welcome to St. Michael's Academy Betia's e-learning class of English class 4. So today we are going to learn chapter 4, the trumpet of the swans. So first we will do the introduction of the author Elvin Brooks White. Elvin Brooks White was an American writer known for his children's books. His famous works, beside the trumpet of the swans, include Stuart Little and Charlotte Webb. The trumpet of the swans. Now, what do you mean by trumpet? It is the sound of the swans. What do you mean by swans? A large water bird with a long flexible neck, short legs, webbed feet, a broad bill, and typical all white in color. In Hindi, we call Hans. So in this story, there are four main characters. First, Cobb, a male swan. Second, female swan. Third, Sam Brewer. And fourth, Red Fox. Now before starting a paragraph, first we will know the new words. Stilled means surprised. Swaps means low area on the ground where water collects. Uneasily means in an uncomfortable manner. Gazed means look steadily. Jutted out means extended out of a surface. Intruder means a person who has come in where he does not belong and should not go to. Cob means a male swan. First we will read the paragraph. Sam Brewer, an 11 years old boy, was walking through a forest when he heard a loud trumpet. Thrilled, he searched the woods and swapped still he found a big nest of two enormous trumpets. Swans by a lonely pond in the middle of the forest. They were laying eggs. Sam was filled with wonder because he knew that trumpet swans were very rare. He returned to the same spot a week later to watch the birds again. But the swan could also sense that an outsider was nearby. So, in this paragraph, what the writer is saying: when Sam was walking through the forest, suddenly he hears the sound of trumpet. He started searching in the deep forest. Who is playing the trumpet sound? Then he found the two enormous trumpet swans. These are the swans who are making trumpet sound nearby a pond. Children, what they were doing? They were laying eggs. Sam knew very well that these swans are very rare. So he returned to same spot to watch the birds again. Now we will read the paragraph. The swan had a strange feeling of being watched. She twisted and peered uneasily and gazed instantly at the point of land that jutted out into the pond near the nest, searching for an intruder. What she finally saw surprised her. There was a small boy sitting on a log. He was very quiet and he had no gun. There is a boy on that log, the swan whispered to the cob. The cob was furious. How did he get here in the heart of the forest? Boys can't fly, and there are no roads in the jungle, he shouted. Maybe he is lost, said the swan quietly. Anyway, he is just observing us. So, the explanation of this paragraph, the writer wanted to say that the swan had a feeling of being watched since Sam was watching them. The swan also smelled that Sam was watching them. Swans never wanted to be disturbed. The mother swan was laying her eggs, and the male swan cob was around to protect mother swan. At that moment, Sam finds them. So he sits on a log there and just watching them. He was quiet and he had no gun. So the male and female swan got frightened. The cob got scared. They were thinking that how that boy came here in the heart of the forest. He can't fly, or there are no roads in the jungle. So from where he came? Swam were confused that maybe that boy got lost. But he is just observing us. Now, before starting the paragraph, we will know the new words. Knock him cold means hit him very hard to make him faint. Bothering means disturbing. Spellbound means filled with wonder by the beauty of something. Now we will read the next paragraph. But what if he throws stones at us? Said the cob. Just wait. I will go and knock him cold with my wing. Now, just wait. Don't start a fight, said the swan. He is not bothering us at all. Anyway, I have started this nest and I will go and lay a fourth egg now, said the swan. For the next hour, the cob paddled slowly around the tiny island, keeping watch. Sam sat on the log, spellbound at the sight of these large water birds. After he had watched them for an hour, Sam got up and quietly left. The birds watched him go. Sighing with relief, the swan left the nest and turned to look back. There, lying safely on the soft feathers at the bottom of the nest, were 4 eggs. She gazed at them proudly. So, the explanation of this paragraph, that swam were confused that maybe that boy got lost, but he is just observing us. Sam was sitting quietly and not doing anything. So the cob thought to frighten Sam by knocking him with his wings. So the female swan said not to disturb him, he is not doing anything. And after that he started to laying fourth egg now. For the next hour, the cob was walking and protecting the swan. Sam sat on the log. He was wondered by the beauty of those large water birds. After watching them for an hour, Sam got up and quietly left. The birds watched him go. The swan got relaxed and hid the eggs with the feathers were 4 eggs laid, and she gazed at them proudly. Starting the paragraph, first we will know the new words. Prevult means moved very quietly in search of prey. Cygnets means young swans. Now we will read the paragraph. The swan settled herself in the nest to keep her eggs warm. Carefully, she reached down with her bill and poked each egg until it was in just the right spot to receive warmth from her body. The cob snailed around close by to keep her company and protect her from enemies. He knew that a fox prowled somewhere in the woods. He had heard him barking on some nights. Days passed, and the swan sat and sat in the nest, warming the eggs. Through sun and rain, the weeks went by. No one disturbed her. Finally, one warm afternoon, tired of swimming around, the cob asked the swan, "Do you never get tired of sitting in one place?" "No," replied the swan. "Not really. Isn't it uncomfortable to sit on eggs?" "Yes, it is," replied the swan. "But I won't have to sit for long. Our cygnets will be born soon. Don't you ever feel hungry or thirsty?" asked the cob. "Yes, I do," said the swan. "I am actually very thirsty right now." Explanation. So in this, what writer is saying that the swan settled herself in the nest to keep her eggs warm. So children, what birds do after laying an eggs? They sit on the eggs for long to keep the eggs warm. So here the swan doing the same. She settled the eggs in the right spot to receive warmth from her body. And the cob always look after her and protect the eggs from enemies. The cob knew that the fox is there in the jungle. He had heard him barking on some nights. So children, how do animals do hunting? They moved very quietly in search of prey. So days passed. The swan still sitting in her nest without taking any break through sun and rains. The weeks went by. No one disturbed her. Finally, one afternoon, the cob asked her, "You never get tired in sitting in one place?" The swan never get tired from this. They feel hungry and thirsty, but they still sits on the egg here. She was sitting on her eggs for days. She was actually very thirsty. Before starting the paragraph, first we will know the new words. Shallow means not deep. Thrust means push suddenly and forcefully. Waddled means walked with short steps while swaying from side to side. Preening means cleaning her feathers with her beak. A clump of bushes means a group of bushes growing close together. Spied means absorbed in secret. Look out means be careful. Grave means great and serious. The swan decided she could safely leave the eggs for a few minutes. She pushed some loose feathers around the eggs to hide them and keep them warm. Then she stepped off the nest and entered the water to take several quick sips. She glided over to a shallow place, thrust her head under water and pulled up tender greens from the bottom. Finally, she waddled out onto a grassy bank and stood there, preening her feathers. She felt good, but she had no idea that at that moment their enemy, the red fox, stood waiting behind a clump of bushes. The cop spied the fox first. "Look out," he trumpeted. "I can see the fox creeping towards you. You are in a grave danger." Explanation: So the swan decided to leave the eggs for a few minutes. So, to keep them safe, she put some loose feathers around the eggs to hide them and keep them warm. After that, she entered the water to take several quick slips. After coming from water, she stood near the bank and started cleaning her feathers. And she felt good. But at that moment, their enemy, the red fox, came, and he stood behind the bushes. The red fox was observing them. The swans were in a great danger. Before starting with the paragraph, we will read the new words. Hurtling means moving at high speed. Rang with means was filled with sound of. Thrilled means very excited and happy. Arching means curving. Cautiously means very carefully. Never moved a muscle means sat and remained still. On to next paragraph. First we'll read it. But just as the fox was about to spring on the swan, a stick came hurtling through the air, surprising everybody. It struck the fox on the nose as he yelled in pain. While turning around to run away, the two birds could not imagine what had happened. Then they noticed a movement in the bushes. Out stepped Sam Brewer, the boy who had visited them a month ago. Seeing him, the swans knew that he had saved them from the fox. They realized that the boy was their friend after all. "Cuckoo, cuckoo," said the cob. "Cuckoo," replied the swan. The pond rang with sounds of victory and gladness. Sam was thrilled. He walked slowly around the shore and sat down on a log. Explanation: Suddenly, a stick came at high speed through the air, and it struck the fox on the nose, and the fox yelled in pain and left. The two birds could not imagine what actually happened. They noticed the movement in the bushes, and it was Sam Brewer, the boy who had visited them a month ago. Now the swan knew that he was their friend. The swans were very happy, and Sam was very excited and happy, and slowly walked towards a log and sat down. The next paragraph. The cob swan over towards Sam, climbed out of the pond, and stood close to the boy, looking at him in a friendly way and arching his neck gracefully. Once he ran his neck far out cautiously and almost touched the boy. Sam never moved a muscle. His heart thumped from excitement and joy. The swan paddled back to her nest and returned to her eggs. She felt lucky to be alive. Explanation: the cob swan walked towards Sam and stood close to the boy and looked at him with friendly way. He ran his neck very carefully and almost touched the boy. Sam remained still. His heart jumped from excitement and joy. The female swan paddled back to her nest and she felt very lucky to be alive. So this story is an extract from the Trumpet of the Swan, which is written by E.B. White. Hope you understood the chapter. Thank you.